go. We've been out for a test ride on the old girl, and yeah, it's got a few leaks, a few other issues. I'll just turn it off, it's a little bit noisy. Yeah, it's definitely got some leaks. Back tyre is absolutely covered in oil. Don't know how well we can see it, but yeah, get about 75 miles on her. Generally runs okay. Idles a little bit iffy, but we know the carburetor's worn out. Silly things happened, like the needle snapped off my speedometer. It's down in the bottom there somewhere. Yeah, just riding along after about 40-50 miles, and yeah, glanced down to look at the speed, just in time to watch the needle pop off, well, I say pop off, snap off, and drop down the bottom of the speedo. Now, it's not end of the world, because of course the tail of the needle's still attached, and there's a nice white line on the clocks at 30, so I can still line that up and potter around towns, as long as I'm not in Wales, and yeah, generally be okay. The ammeter doesn't like staying in. It generally tries to exit the bike. Oh, and the leaks. The leaks. Filler cap's not sealing properly. Where the tank badges are meant to bolt on, that one's got a leak. It's ruined the paint. I dare say someone's just put too long a screw in there at some point. A little bit of weeping around the rocker top area, nothing major. Primary case does not seal. I knew it wouldn't seal really. It's been over tightened at some point and bowed, so I'm going to have to do something about straightening that out. It properly pours out, that does. And there's gearbox oil coming down the back of the primary case as well. So presumably the yeah, big seal on the end of the gearbox is gone. So well, let's take her back apart. Take her back apart. Again, it's not important though, is it? Just keep taking it apart and doing things. Once it's right, it'll be bloody lovely. It does ride okay. It does ride okay. Yeah, surprisingly as well, rather surprisingly, the brakes are quite good. I was rather concerned about that, but yeah, because you never know what the brake shoes are going to be like. Who's relined them last and what they relined them with. But yeah, these actually do quite a good job. If you look on the adjustment as well, the arms at right angles, it's at the point it wants to be at. That's getting some leverage on it. Oh, at higher speeds the mudguard did start rattling around, and just scuffed the edge of my tyre a little bit. This bolt did. This bolt's as short as I can possibly make it, so did pull over, sort of stick my foot against the wheel and oink the mudguard across a little bit more. But as we saw in the last video, it's not straight. It's yeah. Well, I said, best of a bad job, so we'll maybe have a bit more fettling to do here. But that's temporarily, at least, that problem is solved. So yeah, let's get that primary back off. And the usual rules will apply. I'll carry on till the weather turns crap, or you know, something generally happens, like hand giving up or life gets in the way. Right, cup of tea, already made. Get that down me, and then yeah, we'll get it apart. Yeah, right, onward. Okay, just to demonstrate how warped the primary case is, now she's all undone. That has been severely over tightened at some point and pulled in at the middle. So there is no wonder at all why that thing is not sealing. Right, we'll keep taking it apart. Right, well the clutch hub and the primary gear have decided they're staying on there for now. So I'm going to have to dig a puller out from somewhere. It might take 10 or 15 minutes. Right, I'll bring you back when I found one. Got a bit carried away there, forgot to turn the camera back on. It wasn't until I was rummaging through the drawer of King Dick's that I realised, yeah, I hadn't filmed any of that. So, well, you know, it's a primary case, it came off. It's about the gist of it. So yeah, get that front sprocket undone. Turns out it's 3/4 whip width, and that's the only 3/4 whip width I've got. I ain't got any sockets long enough to go over the shaft, so open-ended spanner it is. Right, yeah. Let's see if the King Dick can do the job. Lied to you completely. It's not 3/4 whip width, it's 7/8 whip width. I was looking at the wrong end of the spanner. I think that'll go. I could be talking rubbish though. And that's the offending seal. It definitely looks a bit rough and scabby. Hopefully I can convince the thing to come out without parting the gearbox. Alright, we'll try the remnants of the cheap nasty hooky thing. Hooky thing, it's its new name, hooky thing. Yeah, it's coming. Oh dear. There we go. Okay, so it's the next day and we've got the new gearbox seal. Just got to pop it on without cocking the job up. That's what we've got. Got a flat disc. It's left over from Francis Barnett when I've made the charging system on her. That just slides nicely over there. So we'll get the seal started, slide that on, and we've got a nice bit of tube that's over the top, and we should be able, to tap it all in nice and square. Quite how well it works, we'll soon find out. There we go. That's the new seal all fitted. Seems to do the job. Shaft turns nice and free and smooth, and looks like it's an okay. Who knows? We'll find out, I'm sure, when we ride it and it chucks oil everywhere. Right, onward. Right, after yesterday's kerfuffle of trying to get this nut off, borrowed the correct box spanner. There we go. Okay, well, we're slowly getting it back together. I've acquired a new rotor. I say new, second hand. One someone else was going to put in the bin, but it's a damn sight better than what we've got. Unfortunately, this model's recessed here, whereas mine's flush. So we need to find something to space that out slightly. What do we need? 30 thou, maybe 40 thou, that's all we need. 40 thou. That's about a millimetre for those of you that are in metric. So just a washer should do it. So the end of the crank there's 3/4 inch. So I'm going to clear off, see if I can find a 3/4 inch washer. Right, back when I find one. Okay, so I decided the old spacer was crap, didn't fit, so fired up the old Drummond and made a new one. Plus, you know, I couldn't just find a 3/4 inch washer to use as a temporary spacer. So yeah, that is actually way too big for the shaft. That's the original one. She all rattles around. And this is the new one. It's not the greatest finish because it is just cheap mild steel, and it is 3/4 inch, as is that, so it should just gently tap on with a bit of luck. And you might notice how the wall's a lot thinner compared to the old one, and that's simply because on these rotors it's the steel in the centre that it tightens down on, and it is ever so slightly recessed just by a couple of thou. So I machined that so it would just sit in that recess. Then it's tightening up against the steel and not putting strain on the rotor. Right, we'll pop it on, hopefully. Okay, woodruff keys back in. Spacer's back on. Sort of moment of truth now. Let's see if we can pick up all my tools with this. No. There we go. Let's see how well she fits. She is a bit of a snug fit. It's a slightly shallower keyway on this one. It does go on, I have tried it. There must be a bit of muck in there. Let's clean. No. Keys maybe not seated properly. There we go. Nice snug fit. All I did was, this one was 1/4 inch thick, so I made the new one 5/16. And I don't know how well you can see, but the steel of the rotor is just a couple of thou prow with the end of the crank. So now hopefully when it tightens up everything will go tight and be lovely and work. There's only one way to find out, isn't there? Best find some spanners. Right, yeah. One last go at the primary, and no drips, which is always nice. Well, except for me. Haven't used any sealant or anything on it. Really don't want to if I can help it. Just because it'll be an absolute git to get off again if I do. You can't see it now, the cover's on, but the big rubber seal that goes around the outside, they are tapered on these so the casing slides on. It's obviously worn and tired, so I've put it on backwards so the fatter part is facing outwards. Bit of a git to get on, but seems to have done the job. And no drips since we've done that. Fasten the ammeter back in, and the little switch. A few other little odds and sods that have been done. But yeah, she's back together for now. I'm quite sure I'll be taking it apart again soon. Yeah. Well, it's a 66-year-old bike that was cheap. It's going to have problems. So, yeah, we'll see what happens next. But I really must get packed up, chuck all these tools away, put the bikes back in the shed, and get out of here. Because yeah, it is getting late, and I am late. I've got a few bits I need to get done. Right, well, thank you very much for watching. As usual, well done if you've made it this far. And we'll see you in the next one. Yeah. Quite whether with more Norton content or something a bit different, because, well, I don't know how many videos I can put up of me fixing a Norton before you all get bored and wander off. But anyway, right, I'll see you later. Ta-da.